Hi, this is Yolanda Vanveen from vanveenbulbs.com. And in this segment, we're going to learn all about how to take care of potted lily flowers. Now, we always get beautiful Easter lilies at Easter, and they're in bloom and they smell so wonderful. And then we get stargazer lilies for Mother's Day, and they're bright and pink and they smell so wonderful. And then they get done blooming and they die. And then you're wondering, what do I do with it? And you don't want to throw them away because they were so beautiful at one time. But what do? So an easy trick that I have learned is plant them in your garden, because all lilies will come back and bloom every summer. So it doesn't really matter if you cut them down to the ground or you cut them halfway, or if you leave them in the pot even over the winter. They will come back in that pot and bloom for you every summer. But there's a few rules that you can follow to make your lilies even more successful. Now, this is a beautiful Citronella lily. It's kind of like very similar to the traditional tiger lily. And an easy trick that I have found so that you don't get pollen all over yourself and your nice tablecloths is, as soon as the flowers open, you just pull the pollen off. And then it does get on your hands a bit, but you can throw it right into the garbage can. Or these orange lilies right here, they've just popped and then there's lots of pollen on here. So I don't want it to get all over my tablecloth, so I just kind of pull it off. And it's an easy way to let your flowers last a little bit longer. I don't necessarily say that the blooms will last longer, but they don't get stained. And it's a good way for them to look better for a longer period of time. So now what do you do when they're done blooming and you just have this ugly looking stem? Now theoretically what you should do is top them. So what happens is that the bloom is done, but there's still some green on the stem. So the stem is still getting photosynthesis. Well, that energy's got to go somewhere. If it's not supporting the top of the stem, it will go back down to the bulb and the bulb will multiply quicker. So an easy rule of thumb is, as soon as they're done blooming, top them, which means just cut them about halfway. And that way just the blooming part is gone. And then you just have the rest of the stem in your garden or in your pot. Once the whole stem is turned brown, then I just cut it to the bottom. Right now it's still green, so you might as well leave it for a little bit longer, because that energy will go back down to the bulb and it'll multiply quicker. So once it turns brown, I just cut it down and I just leave my pots outside, right here on the deck. And they come up every summer and they bloom beautifully. Eventually they get crowded. I'll get like 5 stems coming out where I just had 1. And at that point, when they're done blooming, I just dig them up and separate them and put them in more pots. So as long as they're about 3 inches deep from the top of the bulb, they'll do really well in the containers with very little care. And potted lilies are such a beautiful flower, so don't ever throw them away. Either leave them in the pots or throw them in the garden so you can enjoy them every summer.